A gray wolf is standing where the trail should be. Above it, a white mountain goat kid freezes on a ledge no wider than a dinner plate. Below it, the slope drops away into loose stone, dark spruce, and a long fall that does not care how young an animal is. The kid has 4 legs, 2 tiny horns that are more idea than weapon, and the confident expression of someone who has never read a safety manual. Behind him, his mother presses close to the cliff. She cannot carry him. She cannot hide him. She cannot explain that the only path left is the one that looks impossible. The wolf takes one slow step upward. The kid looks at his mother. Then he looks at the wall of rock beside him. For most animals, that wall is the end of the story. For a mountain goat, it is the beginning. High in the mountains of Western North America, survival often comes down to a simple question. Who can stand where no one else can follow? The world up here is built from hard angles. There are cliffs striped with snow, ledges broken by frost, loose stones waiting for one careless hoof, and alpine plants growing in places that seem personally offended by gravity. It does not look like a nursery. But for a mountain goat mother, called a nanny, this steep country is the safest place she can choose. The higher and rougher the ground becomes, the fewer predators can move with confidence. Wolves can climb. Bears can climb. Cougars can climb better than almost anything their size has any right to climb. But none of them are built for this particular kind of ridiculousness. A mountain goat is not a true goat. It is a goat antelope, a white-coated specialist made for cold air, broken stone, and decisions that would make a sensible deer turn around and reconsider its life. Its hooves split into 2 toes that can spread against the rock. The outer edges are hard. The inner pads are soft and flexible, gripping tiny irregularities like living climbing shoes. Its front body is powerful, its shoulders and neck heavy with muscle, built to pull itself upward when the mountain offers only fragments of a path. For an adult, this is difficult. For a kid, it is a school where every exam is taken beside a cliff. This kid is only a few weeks old. His coat is bright white, a dangerous color if the world below is forest and shadow, but perfect against late spring snow. His legs are thin, his hooves small, his beard not yet worthy of discussion. If he had a resume, it would say, recently born, enthusiastic, questionable judgment, excellent potential. His mother has already led him away from the lower birthing ground and into the steep country. In some coastal mountains, nannies give birth near secluded shorelines or low cliffs, then move their kids upward when the young are strong enough to follow. In other mountain ranges, the first nursery is already high above the forest. Either way, the lesson is the same. The kid must learn the mountain quickly. Not later, not when he feels ready, not after a helpful orientation video. Now. The spring sun has loosened the snow. Meltwater threads down black rock. Patches of grass, sedges, and alpine flowers push through the wet ground. For the goats, this green flush is worth climbing for. After winter, every mouthful matters. But food pulls animals into motion, and motion creates risk. The nanny moves first. She places one hoof on a shelf of stone, waits until it holds, then shifts her weight. Her body looks calm, almost bored, as if she is crossing a living room and not a mountain face. The kid follows with less elegance. His first step is good. His second step is mostly ambition. A pebble skitters from under his hoof and drops into the air. It bounces once, twice, then disappears into the darker slope below. The kid stiffens. His mother stops immediately. She does not panic. Panic wastes balance. She turns her head, watches him, and waits. This is how mountain goats teach. Not with comfort, not with rescue. With proximity, pressure, and the stubborn message that the next safe place is still ahead. The kid stretches one front hoof forward. His soft pad presses against a narrow edge. His toes spread. The rock accepts him. He moves. For a few minutes, the world belongs to the goats. Then a raven calls from the air. The nanny lifts her head. Below, at the edge of a snow patch, a gray wolf has appeared. It is not charging. That would be a waste of energy. Wolves are patient animals, and in mountains, patience is a weapon. The wolf does not need to run faster than a mountain goat on open rock. It only needs the goats to make one poor choice. One turn downhill. One patch of loose snow. One kid separated from his mother. The nanny moves between the kid and the slope below. Her horns are black, sharp, and not decorative. Mountain goat mothers can be fierce defenders, especially when a predator comes too close to a kid. But on this ground, fighting is the last option. The better weapon is altitude. She steps upward. The kid follows. The wolf follows too. Not straight up the wall, but along a broken diagonal, using scrub, snow pockets, and stone ribs. It is clever enough to know that the goats are trying to reach a ledge system above the cliff. If it can cut them off before they reach it, the kid may have to turn back. And turning back is where young animals make mistakes. The nanny increases her pace. Her hooves tap the rock with dry, controlled clicks. The kid scrambles behind her, breath quick, head low, legs working with the serious concentration of a creature discovering that being cute does not suspend physics. A golden eagle circles higher up the valley. For an adult mountain goat, an eagle is mostly a shadow. For a small kid, especially a very young one, the sky is another direction danger can come from. Nannies often keep close behind their kids when eagles are near, protecting the young from being knocked off balance or separated. Now danger has arrived in layers. Wolf below, eagle above, loose snow ahead. The kid is not surrounded by teeth yet, but the mountain is narrowing around him. The first pressure test comes at a slanted snow bridge between two rock ribs. The nanny crosses it with care. Her hooves sink just enough to hold. She steps onto the far rock and turns back. The kid places one hoof on the snow. It collapses. Only a little, but little is enough. His front legs drop. His chest bumps the edge, and for a second his back hooves claw at air and powder. The wolf below stops. The eagle tilts its wings. The nanny lunges down one step and lowers her head. She cannot pull him up, but her body blocks the open drop. She stands below him, exactly where a sliding kid would come down, a living barrier against the fall. The kid kicks once. The snow breaks again. He kicks twice. His back hooves find stone beneath the powder. He pushes, slips, then pushes again, and his chest slides over the lip of the rock. For one messy, undignified second, he looks less like a mountain specialist and more like a wet sock with legs. But he is up. That is what matters. The nanny touches her nose briefly to his flank. Then she turns and keeps moving. There is no celebration. In the mountains, parties are scheduled after survival, and survival has not confirmed availability. The wolf has gained height. It is using the goat's hesitation well. Each pause gives it a better line. The slope steepens into a band of vertical rock, but just before that band, a narrow ramp cuts across the face. The ramp leads to a shelf above the wolf's reach. If the goats make the ramp, they have a chance. If the wolf reaches the lower end first, the kid will be trapped between a predator and a wall. The nanny sees the same geometry. She changes direction, angling across the slope instead of straight up. Her movement is not frantic, it is precise. Mountain goats survive because they spend less energy on panic and more on foot placement. The kid follows, but he is tiring. His steps shorten. His knees bend deeper. The bright white coat that looked clean in the morning is now damp with snowmelt and dust. He pauses to breathe, and the distance between him and his mother opens by 3 body lengths. 3 body lengths is not much on a meadow. On a cliff with a wolf below, it is a country. The wolf quickens. The nanny turns sharply and comes back down. This is the most dangerous choice she makes. By descending, she gives up height. But she also closes the gap around her kid. She positions herself below and slightly behind him, exactly where he needs pressure. If he slips, she may stop him. If the wolf tries to rush, it meets her horns first. The wolf lifts its muzzle. For a moment, all three animals hold still. Wind combs through the nanny's long white coat. Meltwater ticks from the rock. Far below, the forest moves in dark green waves. The kid looks at the ramp ahead. It is a thin stripe of stone across a steep face. To a human eye, it looks like a mistake in the mountain's handwriting. To the nanny, it is a road. She steps onto it. The kid follows. The wolf moves at the same time. The ramp is too narrow for speed. The nanny must place each hoof carefully. The kid copies her, but his legs tremble. He keeps his body close to the wall, his hooves spread and grip. His head bobs once as he tests the next step. Below him, the wolf climbs onto a lower shelf. It cannot reach the goats yet, but it is close enough that the kid can hear its breath. Close enough that the smell of predator reaches the rock. That smell changes everything. The kid rushes. It is the wrong instinct. His front hoof lands on loose gravel. The gravel slides. His body tilts outward. The nanny reacts before the fall begins. She swings her body uphill and presses sideways, forcing the kid back toward the wall. Her shoulder bumps him. Her horns stay away from him. Her weight becomes a fence. The kid slams against the rock, startled but still standing. For 1 second, he seems offended. The mountain tried to drop him. His mother body checked him, and the wolf has not even had the courtesy to leave. Then he takes the next step correctly. Slow, flat, hoof first, weight second. This is the behavior that will save him, not bravery. Bravery is too loud for a ledge. Precision is quieter and much more useful. The ramp ends at a vertical notch. The nanny squeezes through first. The kid hesitates at the entrance. The space is narrow. Rock presses on both sides. Above the notch, the path turns steeply upward to a ledge with tufts of grass. It is the first real safe platform the kid has seen since the wolf appeared. But the notch requires a small jump, not a dramatic leap across open air. Mountain goats do not survive by performing circus tricks for the benefit of distant mammals with cameras. It is only a short upward hop from one stone step to another. For the kid, exhausted and frightened, it might as well be the moon. The nanny disappears above the notch, then reappears, looking down. Her black horns frame her white face. She waits. The wolf reaches the lower end of the ramp. Now the kid has no spare time. He crouches. His hind legs fold under him. His front hooves touch the higher stone. For an instant, he is stretched between two levels, one body divided between safety and danger. The wolf steps onto the ramp. The kid pushes. His back legs slip. His chest hits the upper stone. He hangs there, front legs hooked, back hooves scraping the lower rock. The wolf is still several body lengths away, but on a ledge, distance shrinks quickly. The nanny lowers her head from above and stamps once. The sound cracks against the rock. It is not a speech. It is not encouragement. It is a command written in hoof and stone. Move. The kid kicks again. This time his right back hoof catches a tiny projection. It is barely a shelf, barely a flaw in the rock. But his hoof pad molds around it. His toes spread. His leg straightens. He rises. 1 inch, then another. Then all at once, he tumbles onto the upper ledge in a heap of white fur, sharp elbows, and offended dignity. He is alive. The nanny steps over him and turns toward the wolf. Now the geometry changes. The kid is above the notch. The nanny is above the notch. The wolf is below it. The path between them is narrow, steep, and exposed. For the wolf, one wrong step here could mean injury. A predator that breaks a leg in the mountains becomes a lesson for scavengers. It pauses. The nanny does not run. She stands broadside, making herself look larger. Her horns angle forward. Her body blocks the only line toward the kid. The wolf considers the ledge, the goat, the drop, and the fact that lunch has chosen a staircase designed by a committee of rocks. Then it stops climbing. The eagle circles once more overhead, but the kid is no longer exposed on the open snow. He is tucked against the wall, near his mother, under the broken shelter of stone. The mountain has closed its door. The wolf turns sideways on the ramp, careful now, and begins to descend. Only when it is several ledges below does the nanny move again. She does not lead the kid straight to the highest point. That would burn energy he does not have. Instead, she guides him along the safer shelf toward a patch of grass growing from a pocket of soil. The grass is short, wind-bent, and probably not impressive to anyone who has seen a lawn. To a mountain goat kid, it is breakfast with a view. He lowers his head and takes a mouthful. His legs are still shaking. His mother grazes beside him, but her head lifts every few seconds. She watches the slope below. She watches the sky. She watches the kid. The kid chews. This is not the end of his danger. It is only the end of this particular mistake-shaped morning. In the weeks ahead, he will learn the rules of the cliff. He will learn which rocks hold frost late into the day. He will learn how snow sounds before it breaks. He will learn that going down is often harder than going up, which is an insultingly important detail. He will learn the small signals in his mother's body: when to freeze, when to follow, when to climb higher, when to stand still and become part of the mountain. He will also learn that the safest place is rarely the easiest place. That is the strange bargain mountain goats make with their world. They live where food is scattered, winters are harsh, avalanches can be more dangerous than predators, and every path has consequences. But the same cliffs that threaten them also protect them. The same ledges that punish careless feet keep wolves, bears, and most other hunters at a distance. For a kid, survival begins as imitation. Step where the mother steps. Stop when she stops. Trust the hoof before the fear. But little by little, imitation becomes skill. The body learns. The pads toughen. The muscles grow. The impossible wall becomes a map. Below, the wolf slips back into the trees, still hungry but uninjured. That matters too. In nature, a failed hunt is not a villain's defeat. It is part of the balance. The wolf will search again. The goats will climb again. The mountain will remain completely uninterested in everyone's feelings. Late sunlight reaches the ledge. The kid stands beside his mother, looking down at the ramp he has just survived. From here, the path seems even narrower. The drop seems even longer. The wolf is gone, but the shape of danger remains in the stones. He takes one step forward. This time, no pebble falls. He takes another. His hooves spread. His body lowers. His balance settles into the rock. It is not graceful yet, but it is better. And in this place, better is how a young animal turns one terrifying morning into another day alive. The nanny starts upward again. The kid follows. Above them, the cliff rises into snow, grass, and clean alpine air. Below them, the forest gathers its shadows. Between those two worlds is a narrow road of stone that almost no animal can use. For the baby mountain goat, it is not a road away from danger. It is the road through it. And by sunset, when he folds his legs beneath him on a high ledge beside his mother, the impossible cliff is no longer only a threat. It is becoming home.